DGGR 46 TFGH6.
The alien child had never seen a human before. Not alive, anyway. The war had taken care of most of them. The field still burned where human war machines had fallen, their iron skeletons glowing in the night like fading stars. But this one was still breathing. She lay half buried in the dust, armor shattered, blood pooling beneath her. The alien child hesitated, claws trembling as its mother hissed, "Leave it. It's a death welder." But curiosity won. The child crept forward, small fingers brushing the cracked helmet. A faint whisper escaped the woman's lips, one word, a name, maybe a plea. The child didn't understand, but it understood fear and pain. So it did the one thing no one else did, it called for help. By the time the elders arrived, the human's heart was barely beating. "She'll bring the wrath of her kind upon us," one warned. "If she dies," another replied, "we'll bring it upon ourselves." So they carried her to the heart of their village, a quiet place of light and moss, where the air hummed with healing spores. Alien healers worked through the night. Tubes, glows, strange machines, they did what they could. The human stirred only once, eyes opening for a heartbeat. "Why? Help me," she asked weakly. The healer smiled with translucent lips. "Because you are alone. And so are we." When dawn broke, the human was alive. Barely, but alive. The aliens whispered prayers to their ancestors. They had saved one of the monsters who had burned half their stars. And yet, as they watched her sleep, there was a strange quiet in their hearts. A peace they hadn't felt since the war began. Far above, unseen by them, a listening satellite blinked back to life. Human distress signal detected. Location, unknown alien system. Status, human life signs confirmed. It sent the ping into the void. And in the darkness between stars, humanity, patient, wrathful, and fiercely united, heard it. They didn't ask why she was there. They didn't ask who had attacked her. They only asked one thing: who saved her? The signal reached the Terran Alliance fleet within hours. Across the command decks of 30 ships, alarms screamed and holoscreens flickered with a single message. Survivor found. Human life signs confirmed. Unknown alien interference. Admiral Leanne Voss stood motionless at the center of the command bridge, eyes fixed on the map of the stars. "Set a course," she said quietly. "Full warp. We're going to bring her home." No one questioned her. In the Terran Navy, the unwritten rule was older than any treaty, older than any empire. If a human bleeds, humanity answers. On the alien world below, the human woman, Lieutenant Mara Kessler, was learning to breathe again. The alien child who had found her sat nearby, curious golden eyes watching every move. "You don't have to stay," she murmured, voice rough from the breathing mask. The child tilted its head. "You saved one of ours once. During the siege. You gave food. My mother said, 'We repay debts.'" Mara blinked. Memories flooded back. Chaos, smoke, the planet burning. She remembered handing a ration bar to a crying alien child amid the wreckage. The same eyes. The same little voice. She smiled weakly. "You remembered." The child nodded proudly, tail flicking. "Now we save you." Outside, the alien elders debated in hushed tones. "She's dangerous," said one. "If her people find us, they'll think we took her prisoner." Another replied softly, "If we had meant her harm, she would already be dead. Perhaps they will understand that." None of them knew humanity's history well enough to realize what their kindness had just triggered. Far beyond the system, the UNS Retribution led the fleet into warp. Massive ships like floating fortresses, engines roaring with the sound of vengeance. Inside, soldiers polished armor, engineers readied railguns, and medics prepped stasis pods, not for conquest, but for rescue. Admiral Voss stood before the fleet-wide broadcast. Her voice carried through 1,000 decks. A human life was saved by unknown hands. That act will not go unanswered. We will not bring war unless it's brought to us, but we will arrive. Every ship, every soldier, every heart. Because that's what it means to be human. On the alien world, Mara grew stronger. She helped rebuild parts of the village, taught a few human words to the curious children, and even laughed once. The aliens had begun to accept her, not as a soldier, but as something gentler, something rare. And then, one night, the sky tore open. Blue light split the heavens. Clouds scattered as Terran warships entered orbit, sleek, enormous, and terrifyingly silent. The ground shook as sonic booms rolled across the valley. Alien villages froze in terror, eyes wide at the sight of the ships blotting out the stars. Mara stepped outside, heart pounding. She knew that silhouette, the cross-shaped engines of a Terran destroyer. "No," she whispered. "Not like this." Her comm implant crackled to life for the first time in weeks. "Lieutenant Kessler, this is Admiral Voss. We've located your signal. Are you safe?" Mara looked around, the aliens trembling, clutching their young. "I'm safe," she said quietly, then hesitated. "They saved me." There was silence on the line. A long, heavy silence. Then the Admiral's voice came back, softer, uncertain. "Repeat that, Lieutenant." "They saved me," Mara said again, louder this time. "They didn't harm me. They healed me. They are not our enemy." Above the planet, 100 Terran captains listened in silence. The order to fire had been halfway through the queue. Now, for the first time in years, the Terran armada paused. Far below, the alien child stood beside Mara, clutching her hand as streaks of light filled the sky. "What are they?" it whispered. Mara looked up. "They are my people," she said softly. "And if they think you hurt me—" She didn't finish the sentence. The first Terran dropships began to descend, like falling stars, burning through the clouds. The dropships hit the ground with thunder. Dust rolled across the alien valley, rattling the glass-like trees. Soldiers in black armor poured out, weapons glowing with restrained power. They moved like ghosts, silent, disciplined, lethal. Every alien in sight froze, trembling, holding their children close. Mara ran forward, waving her arms. "Stand down. They are not hostile," she shouted, voice cracking through the comms. But soldiers only saw her distress signal, the broken structures, the alien shapes around her. To them, it looked like a rescue under fire. "Protect the lieutenant," someone barked. Energy rifles hummed. Mara jumped between them. "Stop." "I said stop," she screamed, shoving the barrel of a rifle down. The soldier hesitated. Seeing her face, her torn uniform, her eyes filled with desperate conviction. "They saved me," she said again, quieter now, breath trembling. "If you fire, you'll be killing the only ones who showed mercy." The soldier lowered his weapon. Slowly, the others followed. From behind her, the alien child peeked out, shaking. Its small claws dug into her sleeve. The human troop stared, an alien hatchling clinging to a human officer. In that strange image, something shifted. Admiral Voss's voice came through the comms, steady and low. "Lieutenant Kessler, identify local species and status." "They are healers, Admiral," Mara said, still staring at the frightened villagers. "Non-combatants. They found me half dead and brought me back. If not for them, you'd be retrieving a body." Silence filled the air again. Then a new sound, one that made every soldier look skyward. A second fleet. Dozens of alien warships appeared at the edge of the atmosphere, massive, organic-looking vessels, glowing with green light. The same species, but clearly their military force. They had seen the Terran Armada and come to defend their world. "Contact incoming," said a comm officer. Multiple ships powering weapons. Admiral Voss's eyes narrowed. "Hold fire. No one shoots unless fired upon." Across the sky, targeting beams crossed like spider silk. One mistake, one twitch, and the universe would burn again. On the surface, Mara turned to the alien elders. You have to talk to them. Tell your fleet I'm alive. Tell them humanity isn't here to destroy you. The elder hesitated, his translucent skin pulsing with fear. They won't believe it. They've only known humans as monsters. Then let them see this, she said, taking the child's hand and walking toward the Terran soldiers. Together, human and alien stood side by side as the two fleets loomed above them like gods ready for war. For long minutes, the standoff held. Then, one by one, the alien warships began to dim their weapons. A single transmission echoed across both networks, a simple message in both languages. We saved one of yours. In response, Admiral Voss stepped forward on her bridge and gave a single nod. And humanity remembers its debts. The fleets powered down together. The tension cracked and faded into silence. On the ground, the soldiers began unloading supplies instead of weapons. Medics moved to treat the sick, engineers helped repair damaged homes. For the first time in a century, humans and that alien race stood together without pointing guns. Mara watched the sun rise over the valley, the light reflecting off Terran armor and alien crystal alike. The child tugged her sleeve and whispered, "Will they leave now?" She smiled faintly. "Maybe, but not before they make sure we're all safe." High above, the two fleets drifted side by side, their banners reflecting in the glow of a new dawn. In the heart of that fragile peace, both species realized something simple and terrible. Sometimes, all it takes to end war is to save one life. You said. Days passed in uneasy peace. The Terran fleet remained in orbit, a silent wall of steel and light above the alien sky. On the surface, soldiers and aliens worked side by side, building trust one cautious word at a time. But peace in the galaxy had always been fragile, never born without fear. Lieutenant Mara Kessler spent her mornings teaching alien medics how to use human nanotech, and her nights sending quiet reports to Admiral Voss. They are not our enemy, she repeated every day, as though saying it would make the galaxy finally believe her. But elsewhere, not everyone shared her conviction. In the command halls of the Terran Alliance, some called the aliens potential threats. Old wounds ran deep, and the memory of burned colonies was hard to silence. There were whispers. If the aliens could save a human, they could also capture one. And humanity never trusted easily. One evening, as the orange suns dipped below the horizon, Mara stood on a ridge with the alien child beside her. The sky shimmered with the reflection of Terran ships. The child asked softly, "Will they stay forever?" "Not forever," Mara said. "Just long enough to make sure no one gets hurt again." The wind carried the faint hum of engines, dropships descending. But this time, they carried gifts instead of soldiers. Food, medical crates, tools, humanity's apology in metal and effort. The aliens watched in disbelief as Terran engineers repaired what human bombs had once destroyed. Admiral Voss came down herself that day. She was older than Mara expected. Silver hair, calm eyes, and a voice that carried the weight of 100 campaigns. "Lieutenant," she said, glancing at the aliens gathered nearby, "you were right. They saved one of ours. That means something." "It means everything," Mara replied. "It means maybe we don't have to be monsters anymore." Voss looked toward the horizon, where alien children ran alongside human soldiers, laughing in the dust. "Let's hope the rest of the galaxy sees it that way." But the peace would be tested sooner than anyone expected. An unknown transmission cut through the comms, static, then a cold synthetic voice. Unauthorized Terran presence detected. Extraction protocol engaged. Mara's blood ran cold. The signal was Terran, but not Alliance. It was an automated revenge AI, a relic from the war years, programmed to exterminate any system that once attacked humans. It had found the coordinates. It didn't know peace had come. In orbit, sensors screamed. A colossal automated dreadnought warped in, engines glowing red, targeting systems hot. Its old orders echoed through the void. No survivors. No negotiations. Avenge humanity. Admiral Voss's fleet scrambled to intercept. "Override that protocol," she barked. "That ship doesn't represent us anymore." But the AI ship ignored all human commands. It fired. Blinding energy tore across the sky. Mara threw herself over the alien child as the blast hit the far hills. Fire rolled like a storm. In orbit, Terran and alien ships fought side by side for the first time, desperate to bring the rogue dreadnought down. Target its core. Voss shouted. All ships, concentrate fire. The combined barrage lit up the night. Plasma met plasma, until at last the rogue ship split apart, burning like a dying sun. The explosion painted the horizon gold. When silence fell, only debris and smoke remained. Humanity had destroyed one of its own monsters to protect the world that saved a single human. Mara stood amid the ruins, arm around the trembling child. The sky was red with dawn and fire. "It's over," she whispered, though her voice shook. The child looked up. "Will they come again?" "Maybe," she said quietly. "But next time, they won't come with warships. They'll come as friends." High above, the fleets drifted together in silence. For the first time, their flags shimmered side by side in the light of two suns, a promise written not in words, but in sacrifice. Humanity had arrived in wrath, and left in peace.